We could get this big chip bag so I could fly out in the ocean and a shark can eat me like the snack that I am. Hello, all you slappy mammals. Don't perceive this closet mess. Don't perceive it. I'm back from the trip that me and my mom took to Maine. Do I look relaxed? Do I look well rested? Maybe a little bit more cultured? Or possibly more haggard, still with adult acne, and like I had to spend the night sleeping on the nasty floor of an airport terminal.
I've no more fucks to give, my fucks have runneth dry.
I swear every week my life's a new Tom Hanks movie. I can't help it. Me and the man are just here. Except for he's acting and it's my real life. So I didn't really vlog a whole lot on the Maine trip. I did a little bit, but I was kind of going back and forth between, you know, this trip is solely for my mom. It's for her retirement. It's to like celebrate her. I want her to be comfortable. And you guys know she doesn't like her face on camera. That's why I always put an Elmo over her face. And then on the other hand, being like, okay, well, I'm finally doing something this week. This could be interesting to film. I'm sure like a lot of funny stuff's gonna happen being in a new place with my mom who's anxious about everything. And trust me, it did. Oh my God, the woman got a massage for the first time and like I almost died laughing. I'll tell you about that in a minute. But you know, content. And also like I wanted to remember those things. So I'm just gonna kind of like sit here and talk to you about it for a minute, throw in some clips, fill in some gaps. But yeah, so aside from the travel day, the trip to Maine was absolutely fantastic. We stayed in Ogunquit, Maine. I think I'm saying that right. It might be Ogunquit. I'm pretty sure it's Ogunquit though. It's such like a cute, very relaxed, chill coastal town. It's hard to find things in this town because everything looks the damn same. All colonial and charming. And you know, of course, we popped into every little shop and boutique in that bitch. My mom was on a mission to find souvenirs since the moment we landed. We visited about like 50 souvenir shops that like all had the same thing, but she wanted to make sure she got everybody a t-shirt. And of course we went and did like all that old lady shit she loves, like going to where the boats are, watching them go back and forth. There was like this drawbridge that would raise and let like the big sailboats in. She loved that shit. We did all that cool like chill old lady stuff. You know, but I also wanted to kind of push my mom's comfort zone a little bit, let her experience something new. So I booked us a couple of massages. The resort we were staying at supposedly had like a spa. Like in the advertising, it made it seem like the spa was like there at the hotel, but it was 2 miles away and it was like its own separate entity. So false advertising, very misleading. Meadowmere Resort, but ultimately you were cool and you had really good beds. Seriously, those beds were so comfortable. Anyway, regardless, I'm getting off topic. So the woman in her entire 54 years of existence has never had a massage. So she agrees, so I book us like a 1-hour couples Swedish massage because she doesn't want to go in a room by herself. Like I knew she was green to this whole thing, but I didn't know how much she didn't know. She didn't even know she was supposed to get naked. You're gonna get naked out there.
I'm not gonna be naked.
That's what you do in a massage, you get naked. Yeah, you have to get naked and then they put a sheet over your cheeks.
Is that a woman or a man?
I don't know who it is. And she was like very concerned about who was gonna be massaging her and I was like, I don't know, Mom. I just called and I made the appointment. I have no idea. They just had an opening. So it's gonna be a surprise for me too. But we're gonna be in the same room. It'll be fine. She was self-conscious about her body. She's like, but they don't want to massage an old lady. And I was like, Mom, they have massaged everybody, every type of body. These are people who do this for a living. You think like only hot people get massages? And it honestly didn't help that when we pulled up to the spa, these 3 like incredibly beautiful women came out who had just gotten massages, you know, like skinny, model-esque, like all of them were like absolutely gorgeous. Like they were there in some kind of like bridal party thing. So I was feeling a little bit self-conscious at that point. I was like, oh, they're gonna go from that to me. Like, no. But yeah, we were immediately greeted by this very attractive man. You know, dark hair, dark eyes. He had an accent. I don't know where from. His body was like triangle shaped, wide shoulders, slender. I was really hoping he was just like the receptionist. I was like, oh my God, please don't let that hot man massage me. And my mom leans over to me and she's like, I don't want that one. She's like feeling self-conscious too. And she's like, I really hope mine's a lady. So lo and behold, they set up the room. And of course it's the hot guy and this older woman that's the masseuse. I was laughing so hard because they left us alone so we can derobe and, you know, get in position. They tell us to like lay on the table face up and my mom's like, face up. She's like worried. So I get under the cover and I'm not really paying attention to what she's doing. And I look over at her and I just see her little face and it looks so scared and it's looking at me worried. And it's like covered. It was the funniest thing ever. I wish I had a picture of that face because like it was absolutely hilarious. But like as we were like sitting there under the blanket, I realized that I had forgotten to shave my legs. So if my legs were like someone's elementary school middle-aged teacher, they'd definitely be named Mrs. Stubblefield because the girls were prickly. It definitely took me out of the relaxed zone to know that this like hot man was massaging my haunches and they were similar to a cactus. And I also realized after the massage that my big toe was really hairy, a hair that was that long on my big toe. I don't know if you know or not, but these eyebrows, they're natural. And the thing about like having dark natural eyebrows is having dark body hair everywhere else. Like I'm a very hairy girl. So I had like a tuft of toe hair on my big toe. And I know he was like all up in those toes, just like mushing them. And so I was like, oh, he definitely saw that. So, you know, like a little bit self-conscious about things. But at the end of the day, I have to remind myself, like, it's a body. There's nothing wrong with body hair. You know that they've had to massage an extremely hairy man at one point in their life. It just comes with the territory, I'm sure. You know, you just tip good and then everything's fine. Elmo had a good time, super relaxed afterward. So that's all that matters. Probably one of the big highlights about this trip to me was the food. I'm absolutely in love with seafood, but I have like the misfortune of not being able to cook it properly. Like I cannot figure out fish. How? And the fact that like seafood was aplenty in this town, it was right up my alley.
Look, it looks like a big clam.
That's a donut.
It was just too much ice cream, first of all.
Well, it said it was a kitty size.
It was fat kids then.
It was a pie.
It's like fat kids getting that ice cream.
It was for fat kids.
Kitty size and what? Like,
Kitty size for a fat kid.
in the land of the giants for kitty size? Children of the land of the giants?
Stop.
Children of the land of the giants? What? Like what kind of kitty? 2 ginormous scoops of ice cream that equals like a whole half gallon.
Half gallon in the cone.
Shit.
Criminy. But yeah, everything was just absolutely fabulous and it kind of reignited some kind of passion within me and I was like, I want to make food interesting again. I want to make it like delicious and you know, like kind of getting better from like that whole binge eating stuff. And then I kind of went through this period of time where I'm like, what do I eat? What I thought as far as like my base of like food, you know, healthy food and unhealthy food. And then I was like, maybe I shouldn't think like that, and maybe I should think in like balance, and like I don't know, I was just like really confused when it came to food. And this trip to Maine kind of made me super excited about food again, and I was like, I just want stuff that's like healthy and tastes good, quality ingredients. I don't know, I just like got inspired in a way. And something else that like really like inspired me a lot was visiting the ocean again. That was another huge highlight for me. I absolutely love the sea, love the ocean, love sea life. I'm very drawn to it. I think some people feel that way about like the mountains in Colorado, like they're just drawn to this place that's in the wilderness, but I have never felt that way about the mountains. I don't want to get mauled by a wild animal. Like, who wants to hike? Nobody. Well, like literally everybody in Colorado except for me. But I digress. But when it comes to the sea, I want to get in there. I want to swim. I don't really care about sharks. It'd actually be cool if I saw a shark. There was these guys that were surfing. Girl, the FOMO was strong. Like, I wanted to be out there. I wanted to try it. I 100% thought that I could do it. I waded in the water up to like about waist deep, you know, but that's as far as I went. I didn't swim. Honestly, it probably would have been a bad idea anyway to try surfing, because I am not a strong swimmer at all. I could stay alive in like a pool situation where the water is just not moving, but in a situation where like there's waves and there's a current, I probably wouldn't do too well. But being there and feeling that feeling of like, oh, I want to be there, I want to do that so bad, it kind of just like reignited that feeling of like, okay, I want to learn how to swim. Like, you need to do this thing to be able to do this thing. I think the whole trip kind of just put into perspective everything, because I also just realized how out of shape I am. Like, walking all day was really hard on my ankles and my feet. Getting in and out of like those tiny airplane seats. And by the way, like most of the time when we were traveling, we were like in those like tiny airplanes, the ones that have like 2 people and then 2 people. And the seatbelt was like on its last leg. Like, there was no slack. It barely fit. And let me just tell you, going on an airplane when you're fat is not fun. And if you think it's fun, you're not that fat. It kind of like put my whole life into perspective, and I kind of regained my reason for wanting to get back in shape, get fit again. Like, in my head, I wanted to do so much more, but I was very much feeling like the limitations of my body or like my current skill set. I didn't have the endurance that I wanted. And so it kind of just like really solidified and put into perspective like my reason why I wanted to get healthy. And let me just tell you that the timing could not have been more perfect, because like as soon as we got back from vacation, the next day my fitness equipment arrived. You know, I was still like really jet lagged and stuff, so I haven't like sat there and figured it all out, but let me just show you it because it's absolutely fantastic and I am very happy about it. And welcome to the home gym. So here we have her in all her glory. This is the Inspire FT2. This is like a total body weight system. And then we have the Spirit treadmill. This is model XT685. I've tried it out a little bit. It's really great. I like these features that it has. You could speed it up or slow it down from the sides, as well as like raise it up or down the incline. Again, just pretty standard treadmill. What's like really new to me is this thing. But yeah, so today, my entire goal for today is to kind of like figure out this machine more. It has a lot of versatility, but that also means that there's kind of be like a learning curve, as opposed to like getting on a machine with one single use. And I want to make sure that I'm doing everything safely. So I'm going to watch like a ton of YouTube tutorials today, kind of play around with it. But yeah, it's definitely going to take me a while to kind of figure it out and get into some kind of flow. And I think just like building a strength training routine kind of just takes trial and error anyway. Obviously, you do not need a home gym that's this extravagant. The only reason I talked myself into making this investment into myself was, first of all, I toured some gyms around my town. Probably the closest gym to me that had all the things that I wanted was like a good 20-minute commute, which was not really ideal at all. Secondly, because I am a YouTuber and I am vlogging this whole experience, my channel in the past has been, you know, committed to my whole fitness journey. And then it kind of like went off the rails, and now we're kind of getting back into it. I'm just letting you know, we're getting back into the fitness content. I am going to be really focusing on that. I am going to be like vlog my life and stuff, obviously, but we're going back in that direction. I just spent like a small fortune on this monstrosity, so if I don't use it, it's gonna be a bad look. With like vlogging and filming myself in the gym, it's not only me being embarrassed to film myself, it's also not wanting to film other people and like invading their privacy. People go to the gym, they want to be left alone. I want to respect that. So those are my primary reasons of like getting a home gym in the first place. Some of you were asking about the gym flooring and where I got it. This is from Big R. It's a stall mat for a horse. And 6 of these ended up costing me about $300, which is considerably less money than would have been the roll flooring, and it's about twice as thick, so that's really nice. A few of you were also really curious why I chose to put the home gym in the garage, since I have like a house that's pretty much empty, especially like that basement portion. There are quite a few reasons for this, actually. The main 2 reasons were Douglas and Chetty. I don't know if you've seen me when I work out and how much they just want to be underfoot. They don't even care if they're about to get kicked by me doing a motion, like they are just there. You know, I try to be very aware when I'm like working out in my house to try not to like yeet them across the room. But in a situation like this with like moving weight stacks, a moving belt on a machine, I could just see that ending really badly. So I needed a door to keep them out. I needed to keep them out of the situation, out of the area, just for their safety. Also, the garage had the highest ceilings, and as you can see, this is very tall. Okay, so I have been talking for like about 2 hours now. This is gonna be a long chit-chatty vlog. I just gave you all of the updates though. Dressed as some kind of Big Lebowski-esque character if he was mad luxurious. But thank you so much for listening to me talk your ear off about my life. Thank you for being interested in my life. I hope you're having an absolutely fabulous day, and I will see you on the next one. Bye!